This is the vaccine procurement input page for the C4P Vaccination costing tool. It has 5 stages that you're going to be filling out, or 5 areas that you're going to be filling out. They're labeled A through E. We start with the assumption of the planned number of doses that you're going to be giving to each fully immunized girls. It's just going to remind you what you chose, and you chose that in strategy D7 up here. Okay? So that's just going to be a reminder for you. Secondly, it's going to remind you what your first dose coverage rate is and your calculated second dose coverage rate is, according to the calculations are coming from the strategy information that you gave here in the previous page, which is the strategy page. So that's really not something that you have to review, that you have to input, rather. It's just something you should review. Okay? The second part then is estimating the wastage and the buffer stock rates. So you're going to have vaccine, there's a syringe and a safety box for the HPV vaccine. And so you want to look at what you assume the wastage rate is going to be for each type of item. And generally we set that at between 5 and 10% for HPV. But you can put it higher if you feel that you need to for your particular situation. The planned buffer or reserve stock that we want to have on hand, usually the standard is 25%, but if you want to, you can reduce that as well, or you can increase it according to what you feel your needs are. Now, safety boxes come in different capacities. So when you get down to this third part, you're going to want to say either it's a 500 capacity or a 100 capacity. Those are the usual sharps boxes or safety boxes capacities that you have, or you can change that to whatever you estimate your safety box capacity is in your particular case. Next, you're going to estimate what the unit cost is per item for the 3 things: the vaccine itself, the AD injection syringe, and the safety box. If you're using local currency, then make sure that you put in your local currency costs here as well as here. In most cases, though, people do not use local currency because you're buying on the open international market, or you're buying on the international market either from the open market or from UNICEF or getting it from Gavi. So you can put in what the unit cost is. At the time of publication, the standard unit cost for the free market value of a vaccine dose for HPV was $4.50. And for those of us who are getting subsidies, or if Gavi is donating it, then we put down here an adjustment for subsidies, which is the 5th part, saying that $4.50 is being taken off that markup value, or that free market value, if you will, to compensate for the free market value. So in essence, you're saying it's donated. Most times there are not donations of injection syringes or safety boxes, so you can look up what price you're going to be paying for that on the unit cost basis. You can usually get that from your medical stores division, and you'll want to put that in there. The other important thing is to look up what your markup for insurance and freight is going to be. Now, depending upon whether you're working in a landlocked country or you're working in a place that has a port on on the coast, your markup value for insurance and freight and handling and all those things from getting the materials from the port to your central warehouse can be anywhere from 7% on a low to as high as 30%. So you're going to want to work with the medical stores, who takes care usually of clearing things from the port, whether it's your airport or your seaport. Check to see what the actual markup is for what you're getting, and put in an estimated percent. Don't try to make this exact, but try to get about an average markup price, and the markup price would be on the free market value, or the fair market value, if you will, rather than on the donated cost. And that's going to add it's going to add the costs up there, and it's going to tell you what your total cost is, including insurance and freight. So it's called CIF for those of you who are interested. Based on the information that you give here, you're going to get expected outputs here on the number of vaccines that you're going to be needing to order, what their unit cost is financially, and what their unit cost is economically. Remember, economic costs include any of the donated costs. So the financial cost will be what you're paying out of pocket in cash to get things out of the port in this case. And in this case, it's going to be, since there's no donations with the injections, syringes, and safety boxes, as you can see, there's no subsidies here. It's going to be that full cost here. And you're going to be doing it it's going to figure it out by year for you based on the number that you're going to have to procure. Just so you know, you can't change the unit cost from the initial unit cost from year to year, but you can change the vaccine subsidy that you're getting from year to year. So for example, if you were only getting subsidies for the first year and then you weren't getting any more subsidies after that, you could put this number for subsidy at $0 for the last 2 years, and then the tool will adjust what your costs are accordingly. Right now I'm just going to be making the assumption that you're getting the total donations for all 5 years. But as I said, you can change that.